Wow, that could have easily been a Rangers goal.
Right.
Yeah, and if the Lightning win, then the Rangers get another first-round pick. So I'm rooting for the Lightning for purely selfish reasons. But no, I do like cheering on former Rangers. They're a fun team to watch.
My God, Houston's just so good at hitting the three.
Yeah. What else?
I think that's it for the first round.
Yeah, wow. It seems so much shorter than.
I mean, they were all sweeps except for
they were pretty quick.
Yeah, they were all quick. Second round, only one series is still going. We had the Knights beat the Sharks. The Lightning beat the Lightning beat the Bruins. The Capitals beat the Penguins.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Ovechkin finally got over Crosby.
Yep.
Finally
through the second round of playoffs. I think this is their first conference final.
Not as a franchise, but with Ovechkin.
No, I think it's Ovechkin's first conference final because they have just gotten dominated by the Penguins. They had a lot of trouble against the Rangers in previous years. They just had no way of getting out of the second round just repeatedly. So good for the Capitals.
Even better because we hate the Penguins.
Yeah. Ovi, deserves to win one. I'm certainly no Capitals fan, but he's a great player. And they look like they've gotten their stuff together.
No, I don't know. I think the Lightning can make quick work of them, though.
I think the Lightning are going to take them out. But I'm sure they'll be happy just to be there.
And then Ovechkin's headed to Vegas.
That would be crazy. Knights Sharks was kind of fun for a little bit, but the Knights were obviously the better team.
But they weren't overwhelmingly better.
No, but
the games
Sharks
were
are
good.
A good
the games
team.
were close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Sharks are a good team.
I just want to point out for our West Side Story fans, there was a legitimate chance that it could have been the Jets versus the Sharks in the Western Conference Finals.
That would have been amazing. Man, Fleury. The Penguins made a mistake in giving up Fleury and keeping Murray. Murray was not that good all playoffs, really. He would have games where he'd be fantastic, and then he'd have games where he gave up 7-8 goals. And it's not only on him. He's still a very good goaltender, but their defense is not what it was. But Fleury has been on fire for Vegas.
Oh, Vegas did the greatest Moneyball in the history of Moneyball.
Yeah.
Cody Eakin has been lighting people up. Uh-huh. He didn't even do that in Dallas.
Yeah.
He was good. I was mad when
and Vegas is a team anyone can root for because they've all got a former player that's over there.
Yeah, Cody Eakin's out here making people look silly.
Yeah.
So the one series that's still going, Predators Jets tied 3-3.
Yep.
Nashville was my pick to win it all.
I'm rooting for the Jets, of course.
I'm not. The only thing that can make me consider rooting for the Jets is the fact that my boy Teemu Selanne is a Jet, and he's by far my favorite player of all time. He just played of all time. Okay. Played with dignity, played with grace, and was also a monster and would light you up in a second.
Yeah.
The Finnish Flash.
Jets Lightning, I'm going to say.
Jets Lightning, who wins?
Lightning.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You think Jets Lightning win?
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the Preds. Preds beat the Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know. I think the Knights are actually the team to beat in the West now. I think it's going to be Jets versus Knights. I think that's going to be a great series, and then I can see that going either way. But I think the Lightning are the overall team to beat. I think they win the Cup.
You think the Tampa Bay Rangers win it all?
Yep.
And that depresses you. Because they could have been the New York Rangers.
Slightly, but hey, it helps the Rangers, so, whatever.
All right. So, anything more about the NHL playoffs before we move on to the NFL draft?
So it unfolds.
Okay. The NFL draft was just a couple short weeks ago. Some of us were very happy. One of us was not. Tony's not here. Tony's not here tonight, but he was ecstatic that the Giants drafted Saquon Barkley. Dan, you were hoping for Rosen, right? Was it Rosen?
I did not think Darnold was an option, so I hadn't even really considered him. I thought it was Mayfield or Rosen, and I was leaning slightly Rosen. I'm happy with Darnold. I have no problem that he's the Jets quarterback. I love the kid's attitude. He's not like your fiery type of leader, but he can do everything you want a QB to do, and he's just like a stand-up guy.
And as Josh McCown's daughter had pointed out in a tweet to Josh McCown, he's only just a little over a year older than her. And that made Josh McCown feel great, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure he was very happy about that.
But I'm sure when Josh McCown seems like the type of guy that when the Jets announced that they were going to be drafting Sam Darnold, that he was like, yes, got a good one. I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold. Watching him at USC, he struggled against some really bad defenses like Texas. Terrible defense. USC, with the high-powered offense they have, should have beat them by like 40. They didn't. They beat him in overtime or on a last-second field goal?
Something like that.
Something like that.
I think they struggled against Stanford.
He struggled against Stanford, who, again, Pac-12, they're not the best when it comes to defense. They're not the Big Ten. They're not the SEC. They're not the ACC. Those are the conferences that are really known for their defense. But just anytime I saw Darnold in a big game situation,
Panic.
Yeah, he panicked, and which is funny because he didn't do that as a freshman. As a freshman, he had poise. He made some beautiful throws in the Rose Bowl game against Penn State. He looked like a player. Excuse me, as I'm choking up because I'm so sad that they lost. He looked like a quarterback that was about to be drafted number 1 overall in that Rose Bowl game against Penn State. And then you come back to the next season, and he's so lackluster, it's not funny. I don't understand how, first of all, Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick. Can we just talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Your future NFL MVP.
Right.
The number 1 overall pick.
As we count down.
I wouldn't be surprised if Baker Mayfield turns out to be pretty good. I don't think he's ever going to be the best quarterback, but I would not be surprised if he turns out to be pretty good. He's not a bomb thrower, but he is very, very accurate in the 10 to 20 yard range, and that's where 90% of NFL throws are made.
Again, though, he played against such weak defenses that it's not funny. Like I can't understate this enough. The Big 12, when they play defense, looks like they only have 5 players on the field. That's how horrible defense is in the Big 12. Mm. I mean, let's be honest. Can you name any good defensive players that came from the Big 12 in recent years? The only one that I can think of was Ndamukong Suh, and he had transitioned to the Big Ten when the year he was drafted. I can't think of it. Michael Huff, corner from Texas, like 15 years ago. I mean, I know I'm probably forgetting someone. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, Myles Garrett." Yeah, Myles Garrett played in the SEC. Texas A&M switched. I can't think of anyone that was any good. If you can, please tweet at me, call me stupid, at Dan D'Antoni. I don't think Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't have drafted him, honestly.
Not first round.
Not first round, not second round, not third round. I don't want a guy like him in my locker room. I don't think he's all that good. He was great against terrible defenses. So if you're going to put that knock on Texas Tech quarterbacks, like Pat Mahomes, a lot of people put that knock on him, you can't flip and say, you know what, I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a good quarterback because he carved up defenses. The only reason Pat Mahomes is going to be a good quarterback is because he's got a huge arm and he's got deep threat receivers that he can throw to in Kansas City. Other than that, he's not going to be anything special. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why everyone's so excited for Baker Mayfield, except that he's going to be the NFL MVP. But I, as a Cowboys fan, was very happy with Leighton Vander Esch. Other than that, I think the Cowboys had a pretty subpar draft.
You don't think Cedric Wilson's going to be any good?
No. Nope. The only other player that I'm excited for is Bo Scarborough. I think, in a weird way, he's going to replace Jason Witten. Because you don't have that tight end who's going to be able to block, but you've got a guy who can block in the backfield and provide more of like a real-time pass block than Jason Witten could have. So I'm good with Bo Scarborough. I don't like pretty much any of the other picks.
They take a quarterback too, or was
yeah, they did. They took Mike White from Western Kentucky. Like, I don't get it. Like, you have two quarterbacks on the roster. He's probably not even going to make the team.
Right.
Unless their plan is to try and get Cooper Rush into games more so they can trade him, because he's a future starter, I think. He looked phenomenal in preseason, and I think that he's going to translate very well to the regular season in the NFL. But I'm just rambling at this point. Dan Beebe. Mm-hmm. Who did the Bills draft?
Josh Allen at quarterback.
Josh Allen at quarterback. I'd rather have Jared Allen at quarterback. What quarterback was still on the board when they picked Josh Allen?
Josh Rosen.
Oh, that's right. Josh Rosen was still on the board. The Bills moved. Was that the original Bills pick, or did they move up to get him?
They moved up to get him.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I have zero faith in Josh Allen, but I've been wrong before, so we'll see.
So how much do you like Nate Peterman?
You know what? Honestly, let him go out week one and see what he does.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's him or Josh Allen.
See who wants it more in training camp, but
I don't think it's going to be who wants it more. I think it's who's going to suck less. Oh, yeah, we've named Josh Allen as our starting quarterback for the season because he threw 3 interceptions less in training camp. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So how would you rate the Bills' first-round draft pick?
pretty lousy.
Pretty lousy. I would give the Cowboys an A- maybe for Leighton Vander Esch, because there was more that they could have done. They could have moved up to get Minkah Fitzpatrick, which would have been an A+. What would you give Darnold to the Jets?
Probably a B-.
A B-?
Yeah, maybe a B at best. I think I probably would have gone with Rosen.
Yes. Rosen's going to be the best quarterback in the draft. The best of the big four. I think down the road, I think Kyle Lauletta is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment of the Cowboys. I think Leighton is absolutely great linebacker.
Cowboys now have the fastest linebacking core in the NFL.
Yeah.
With Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, and Leighton Vander Esch. The way he gets through the offensive line is just insane. He has, in his last season, he had the same number of interceptions as he did sacks, which is insane.
I give the Giants a C for Saquon. Sorry, Tone. I don't see the importance of a running back as much. We talked about this a little bit. I know you're higher on running backs than I am. I just
If they had kept Weston Richburg and Justin Pugh, adding Nate Solder, I think they could have justified drafting Saquon Barkley